So in this wonderful parable, we have the Pharisees and the scribes looking on and fussing about Jesus. Fussing because he's breaking every rule, and he's been breaking all the rules as he's journeyed toward Jerusalem. And they don't like it, and it gives them a reason to fuss. You know, sometimes we just fuss because we have a reason to fuss. So I think that's what's going on with them. And it's brought to Jesus' attention. And so Jesus tells them a parable. Parable's a short story with a moral or a lesson to be taught. So Jesus is sharing with them this short story. And it is the parable of the prodigal son. Prodigal, someone who leaves and then comes back. So that's what's happening in this story. And Jesus has done that. And what I want you to do right now, I want you to be quiet. You can close your eyes if you want to. But I'm going to give you a moment, and I want you to move inside yourself. Move inside. Take stock of your heart, your mind, your gut, and ask yourself, which character am I drawn to? Which character stands out to me? So take a moment and do that. Now, as you have that character, I want you to also stay with yourself and say, why am I drawn to that character on this morning? What is it about this character that draws me today? Okay, you can come back. I trust everybody who wants to have their character has gotten it. And I'm just going to invite, I told you this was an interactive sermon. If there's no interaction, I'm going to go bust up here. So we need some interaction. So yes, Bob.
I am the Father. I am the Father who has had both sons.
You've had both.
Welcome the transgressing son back into the fold, so to speak. I'm the Father.
Thank you. Others?
I also identified with the Father, wanting the sons to get along and trying to bring them together and trying to be a good father to the prodigal and trying to be a good father to the other one, and just what a frustrating position he was in. I really identify with him.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you both.
Another.
I would say I'm drawn to the Father, but from the other side. He forgives us. He forgives the mistakes that are human.
Great. Thank you. Yes?
I'm the prodigal daughter.
The prodigal daughter.
I'm the prodigal daughter because I moved away from my family. I left the church I grew up in. I discovered that I was gay. So all of that wrapped up together, and it made me think, I wish that when I had gone back, I had been celebrated, but I wasn't.
you for sharing that. And you're celebrated here.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's the good news. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Others? This side of the church is very quiet. Bill?
I was a CPA for thousands of years, so therefore I am the older son.
The older son.
The rule follower.
The rule follower. Okay. All right. Could you identify with the emotions of that older son?
CPAs don't have emotions.
Perfect. Thank you. We needed, it's good to have a little levity as well. Great. Yes?
Okay, I'm a slave. I'm just reporting objectively on what I see going on.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Well, I'm a scribe and a Pharisee. When I first heard this, which was some years ago, I was like, wah, 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 when I felt like people were doing something that I thought was against the rules. And when I first heard this parable, it was like, oh my gosh, that's me. I am forever calling out rule breakers. And it's taken me over the years to get rid of that habit. I'm not completely rid of it, but there's stuff going on up here that you don't know at times. So that's okay, though. Now I monitor myself, and we all need to develop our own personal monitor. Others, this is great. Oh, up in the choir.
I identify with the older brother, and it's because I think about fairness. It's not fair in the eyes of the older brother that the younger son first gets all his money and then he gets more when he comes back.
Now, do you think he gets more money?
I don't know. The father said, all I have is yours to the older boy. It sounds like that younger boy's going to have to find his way after that.
I'm thinking that may be true. Go back and just see what you all think. But I think that might be true as well. I don't know that prodigal is going to be celebrated in the same way. But certainly he's been welcomed back and they've killed the fatted calf. Now that right there is plenty of moolah. I mean, that's a big celebration right there. So, good one. Okay, who else? Yes?
I guess I'm going to say with the Father, but an expansion of the Father's reaching out to reconcile the family. And I thought about this kind of thing when I brought a poor Venezuelan fellow in here to see our church, and he said, well, when do you celebrate the Misa? Some of you have already heard, I wrote to you about it. When do you celebrate the Spanish Mass here at St. Luke's? Because he said it's a lovely church, you people seem very warm and friendly, and I'd love to come here. And I had to tell him we didn't have one. And so I'm wondering if reaching out, if someday in the future, we may have a Spanish Misa right here.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. So, yes.
I'm with her. I want to be the father, but I'm with her, and I think our whole society is wrapped up in this meritocracy crap, and that's what I'm wrapped up in. I've been working hard to get Papa's respect, and little bro. I'm actually also a little bro, but he gets it without quote deserving it. And I think that's our struggle. That's our struggle to understand grace and...
Yes.
Oh, Lord, it's hard.
Yes. Understanding grace. Yes, go ahead.
I'm their daughter.
You want to say any more about that?
I just had to name that.
I love it.
No, so I resonate with, I said this in the earlier service as well, I resonate with the prodigal son there's a phrase that struck me this time that says, but when he came to himself. And so for me, when I've been in my darkest spaces, when my brain has shut off, when my heart has closed down, and all of a sudden it's like I've come out of hibernation, I've come out of grief, I've come out of whatever that darkness is, and I come to myself and suddenly, oh, I see a path or I see a way, and it brings me back. So that's today, at least, where I am.
Great. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Over here, are there any? Denisa.
I'm the who is singing softly and tenderly.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling. Yes.
I am the one who is a prodigal child. And, I think of so many times in my life, I've had some difficult things happen over my life. And, once I found out that, Jesus was there and that I could go and find a loving arm, to hold me when I felt very low and needed to be held. That's where once I found that out, it was like I knew where to go. And so this prodigal son, whatever was happening, that he was estranged from his family, and to come home and to be welcomed is just such a blessing. And so that's the first thing I thought of, was just being the prodigal child. Thank you.
Great, thank you. We'll take one more. Yes.
The elder daughter.
The elder daughter.
That when you follow the rules, there's a kind of invisibility.
Mm-hmm. And then you follow the rules and you find out sometimes everything isn't okay. This at the 8 o'clock, and it may be true here too, just sharing like this brings up some feelings. You get in touch with points in your life that are tender. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling. And my feelings are tender right now. They've been touched. And so we take all those tender feelings and memories to the table. And we say, God, thank you for letting me remember. And if it's painful, then you offer it up. I want to leave you with an image of a parable. It's one that was shared with me a long time ago, and it just works for me. And that is, a parable is a prism. You all know what a prism is. It's like a ball, and it's usually made of glass, and it's got lots of different ways of reflecting light. Reflecting light. It may also reflect colors, but you all have reflected light this morning. Just by sharing your stories, you have given light in your words and in your memories. And we celebrate that light, and so you've been a little prism of light in this parable this morning. And we give thanks for that. We thank you for your sharing. This won't be the last interactive sermon we do, but it won't happen again until after Holy Week. So there we go. Thank you, and all God's children say, Amen.